Guys, the Super Eagles of Nigeria have a very huge hurdle to cross if they really want to qualify for the World Cup 2026. Currently, if you take a look at their table, they sit fifth with 3 points after 4 games, which is not really good, but I believe it is possible for them to still top this group. They have a new coach, Chelle, who has been tasked with the responsibility to help Nigeria qualify to the World Cup. But then there's a problem, there is an obstacle, there's a challenge because some key players are injured. And 3 of those key players got injured over the weekend. And I'm about to talk to you about these players, their possible replacements, and how it affects the team. So guys, please make sure to like, subscribe, and also turn on notification. My name is Adam. I'm a Ghanaian. But then I will give my honest opinion on this. You can call me Emeka. I really like that name. But please join me in the convo. Let me know what you think about all these injuries and players who you believe could replace these injured players in the national team. Quickly, let's jump into it. I want to begin with Semi Ajayi. His injury makes no sense to me. He was injured and did not play football for 5 months. After he recovered, he plays 2 games for West Bromwich Albion and gets injured again. Now, their recent game was against Oxford United, where he played. He started that game. They won that game by 2-0. But the problem is that in the 41st minute, Semi Ajayi got injured and he was forced out of the pitch. After the game, there was a medical assessment on the player, and they found out that the player picked up a hamstring injury and is going to be out for several weeks, meaning he's going to miss Nigeria's game in the World Cup qualifiers. This is a problem for Eric Stakushaw because this is a player with experience. This is a player with relationship with other defenders. This is a player that does not need to adapt. So definitely, Eric Stakushaw would be having this player in his team. Whether he starts or sits on the bench, it does not matter. Having an experienced player who plays is very, very good. But then he is injured. And that is my problem with Semi Ajayi. That is why I said his injury does not make sense. After 2 games, he relapsed again. And it's not a good thing. It's a problem for Eric Stakushaw. But then let's take a look at possible replacements. Let me know yours down below in the comments because I have the names of 2 players who I believe can replace Semi Ajayi, as simple as that. Now, the first player is Leon Balogun, who plays for Rangers. He is 36 years of age. I believe that he plays that role perfectly in the national team. The second player is Calvin Akoguma, who plays for Hoffenheim. Yeah, Hoffenheim are struggling in the relegation zone, but I still believe that he has been a bright and shining star for Hoffenheim this season. So these 2 players, I believe, are possible replacement for Semi Ajayi. Their names once more, Leon Balogun of Rangers and also Calvin Akoguma of Hoffenheim. Guys, let me know what you think about this down below in the comments. Now, let's move away from that and talk about Raphael Onyedika. This player, when I saw him play in the UCL against Atalanta, I was like, what? Proper midfielder, proper defensive midfielder, playing so well, handling the midfield the way it should. And they did the impossible. They kicked out Atalanta. I was excited about it. Only for this weekend, Club Brugge played against Standard Liège. And then Raphael Onyedika got injured. I mean, I was so sad about it. Now, he got injured and was subbed out of the game in the 23rd minute. This is a player I believe Eric Stakushaw will be looking at his performance in the UCL, in the Belgian Pro League, and be like, this is my guy. This is a guy I want to bank on. This is a guy I want to rely on. But then Raphael is injured, which is very, very bad. This season, he has been reliable for club and country until just quite recently, because he has played 23 games for club and also has played all 9 games in the UCL for, his club side. And for me, I feel like this is a big blow for Nigeria. But then the question everyone will be asking is that, who's going to replace him? Who's going to replace Raphael Onyedika in the team? I have 2 possible replacements, I believe. Yes, they come into the team and get the job done. The first one will be Christian Uche. I have talked about this player and why I believe he comes into the team and get the job done. Christian Uche is my guy. He is playing for Getafe, playing extremely well. Christian Uche is a guy that I believe he comes into that team, shakes up things, and makes sure that things go on well for Nigeria. The next player is Joe Aribo, Southampton. Good player by all standard. He knows he needs no introduction into the team. He can replace Rafa Onyedika in that team any day, anytime. So these are two players I believe they can come into the team and replace Rafa Onyedika in the midfield. Christian Tus Uche for Getafe and also Joe Aribo of Southampton. Let me know your thoughts about it down below in the comments. The next player I want to talk about is Fisayo Dele Bashiru of Lazio. He's on loan from Hetaya Sport. Now, this player is on loan, but then performing extremely well with Lazio, both in the Italian Serie A and also in the Europa League. Now, Dele Bashiru this season has scored 5 goals and given 2 assists for Lazio in the Italian Serie A, which is quite good. But then over the weekend, they played a game against Venezia, where that game ended in a goalless draw. And he got injured in that game. Now, when he got injured, reports coming from Italy were suggesting that the player was going to be out until the end of March. So when we go to the tabloids, Nigerians were worried because this is a player on form. This is a player that left a tire spot to Lazio and is performing very well. So Nigerians were worried that this is a key player in the midfield and he's not there. But then the good news we are receiving is that after medical assessment, he is just going to miss 2 games. 2 games for Lazio, their game against Inter Milan and their game against AC Milan. So I believe that this is good news for Nigeria. I'm just wondering how this is going to be, be handled. I believe that if the player returns from injury, he needs to be match fit, get match redeemed before he can start playing. But it depends on what the player believes he should do, what the club believe they should do, and also the request from the Nigeria Super Eagles. So guys, this is the situation with Fisayo Dele Bashiru. In fact, that game, he got injured in the 36th minute. He decided to continue playing, and they noticed he was feeling some pains, and they substituted him in the 40th minute. But then the good news is he's missing only 2 games. So I'm not going to name some replacements for him. I believe that definitely he returns back into the national team. The next player I want to talk about is William Trust Ekong, which when I heard it, and I was like, nah, he can't be injured. Nigeria really needs him now. You see, it's not like Nigeria in a very good standing where they can do without their captain. They really need their captain. They need someone to inspire them to win. And William Trust Ekong is that guy. He plays in Saudi Arabia, and the last game he played for his club side was on 14th February. 14th. So in their next 2 games, he did not play. And this is a very big blow. In fact, on Monday, he did not train with his team. So there is a problem. There's an injury problem looming there. And this is a very big headache to Eric Sekushaw because if you don't have your captain there, I mean, it's like there's a problem because he's going to navigate you as to player affairs, as to what the players think, what the players feel, what the players are saying. When that captain is not there, there's a problem. I know there's an assistant captain. I know there are other captains in the national team, but then having your captain there to help you achieve your tasks is what you need. But then he has not been ruled out yet. But then we know there's an injury situation. That is why he's not playing. He did not train on Monday. And I believe that Eric Sekushaw would love to have William Trust Ekong in the team. And I'll be sad if he's not there because Nigeria really needs him. So guys, these are 4 players. 4 players. These players are likely to miss the game for Nigeria in the World Cup 2026 qualifiers against Rwanda and also Madagascar. But then guys, let me know your thoughts about it. Do you think these players, when they leave the team, it won't affect it or it will still affect it? And do you think there are possible replacements who can come in and fill in the boots and fill in the spaces these players are likely to leave if they are left out of the squad? Let me know that down below in the comments. But I believe that Nigeria have an excellent pool of players. They have a very excellent coach who is yet to, show us his hand. We just hope that that new manager bounce kicks in. Everybody that comes into the team follows instruction, go by the system, go by the formation. As I said in the beginning, it is possible. Nigeria can qualify to the World Cup. It's just possible. Trust me, it is possible. My name is Adam. I'll make sure to see you in the next one. Let me know what you think about all this down below in the comments. See you in the next one. Charlie, we go vibe.